fan into flame your power, your strength, your self-discipline. That's what it takes, and you can do it. Yes, you can. You are here, and I am really glad for that. Take that ember, that spark. Thank you for my water. Have some water. Take that ember, take that spark that brought you to yoga and just keep it burning. Light it on up. You're strong and you're going to get even stronger this month. Number 1, what you got to do is show up. Number 2, work on a rock solid foundation. And number 3, we're going to find power in some planks. Trust me, it'll work. You can do it. Yes, you can. You can do all of it. You can do some of it. You can do exactly what you want to do. It's up to you, but make the yoga work for you. Don't feel like, oh my gosh, I can't get into a pose, so I can't do it. Make it work for you. Modify it, modify it, modify it. Using props is a great way to modify. Whatever you do, just show up and do. I'm Jan. This is 316 Yoga. This is our Fun Friday. It's our Yoga Plus. So I practice every single day for 1 hour, and every practice is different. You know that. Show up. Try them. You can do them all because, remember, you modify. So here's the deal. Today, it's a 1 hour Yoga Plus practice where we combine yoga, Pilates, bar, and hand weights. Grab your props. Every day is different. I promise. Just show up, choose what's right for you, and don't get yourself hurt. Let's go. Come on up. Come to standing. And as you come to standing, grab a little ball. That's a prop for today. That's one of our props. We use it often. Let's come on up to standing. Don't hurt yourself. I'll tell you more about the ball in a second. Think of this word as you practice today. The word is arrive. Arrive means to be near, to come to something, to be in your present moment. We've been talking about that this week, the present moment. Be here. Be here, not only obviously physically, show up and watch the practice either live at 8 o'clock Eastern Time or watch the recording later on. It's no big deal. But just show up, number 1, and be present. Be aware of your surroundings. Let thoughts go. You don't need to worry about anything. Lock a stress number in your head. Scale of 1 to 5, 1 to 10. What's going on? What's going on for you right now? Stress number. Lock it in. Take the ball, the yoga ball, and place it between your thighs. If you don't have a ball, don't worry about it. No big deal. It's that I'm going to move this way even more. How's that? Is that better? Okay, I feel like the camera is so not at my angle. All right, squeeze the ball. Squeeze the ball good and tight. Give it a couple good squeezes. Really subtle little movements. We got some other poses where it's really subtle little movements. It's all good and it all works. It all works together for that which is good, and that is making you stronger. All right, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze the ball. Now let's take that confidence stance. We talk about that a lot. Are you still squeezing the ball? Try to keep squeezing it, just pulsing in, tight inner thighs. Put your hands on your hips. So now your feet are about hip width distance apart because you got this ball here. No ball, don't sweat it. You can still do it. Send your shoulders back. Open up through the chest, sending your elbows to the back of the room. Hands are on your hips. Start to lift on up onto the balls of your feet. It's kind of easier when you got the ball between your thighs. Okay, this is called a bender ball. Lots of exercise therapy balls you can buy online. It's a very thin membrane, so it's very squishy. You don't inflate it all the way. You keep it. The idea is to have it squishy, so you can squeeze, 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 and it creates an unstable surface for us when we're doing our other poses on the mat. So grab one, buy one. They're not very expensive. You can have it delivered today. So lift and lower onto the balls of your feet. You can have a chair nearby for stability if you want, ways to modify. But maybe come up higher onto the balls of your feet and hold it up here for a moment or two. Find your confidence. You've got it. You're strong. You're rooted in your feet. Hands are on your hips. You're nice and stable here. Hold on. Maybe come on down to your heels, and this time lift your toes up and give them a wiggle. Keep that ball really tight. If someone were to come along and try to pull it out, it's not going anywhere. You are strong. You are stable. You are working from the waist down, finding your strength in your strong foundation. All right, plant your feet nice and solid. Let's lift our arms up to the sky. Interlace your fingers. Send your palms up to the sky and take your palm tree pose. So you're just moving sideways. Wake up, stretch, move. How often do you get up in the morning? You don't even stretch like this. Maybe you'll take that good morning stretch in your bed, but do you get up? Do you do a palm tree pose? Do you get moving? Or do you immediately go get coffee and sit in a chair and then sit in your car to drive, and then sit at your desk all day long. Don't do it. Get up and move and have some fun. All right, hello, Christy, Stan, Diane, Tyrone, Lisa, Kelly, Margarita, Tina, Rita, Elizabeth, Connell. I'm glad you guys are here. How's your palm tree? All right, let's finish up. Hands to your low back. Send your chest high up to the sky. Lift, look up, up, up. Send your hips forward. Exhale, fold forward now. Let your arms hang heavy. Squeeze that ball. Let your eyes go back toward the ball or even higher up towards your belly button. Little bend in your knees. Maybe that feels awesome. Fingers reach toward the ground. Maybe they touch the ground or not. It's okay. Doesn't matter. Wiggle your hips a little bit. Still your hips. Inhale, arms sweep up. Extended mountain one more time. Lift, breathe, stretch, baby back bend, and forward fold. Remember this forward fold. We're going to modify it in just a few moments, and you'll see, it'll kick it up a notch, that's for sure. Fold forward, look back, back, back. How far can you look? Let your hands come down. Finish, roll on up with your spine, one vertebra at a time. Chin away from your chest, arm circle time. Take a chair pose. Squeeze that ball. It makes you more stable. Sit on back as if your bottom is going back onto a teeny tiny little chair. And when you're ready, arms are teed out and you circle them. The arms come up to the sky, your knees straighten. Arms come down, fingers toward the earth, and your knees bend. Lift and lower. Do some arm circles, nice and big or not so big, you decide. When are you going to believe me? Every little bit of movement helps. And if your arm circles aren't that big or your knee bends aren't that big, that's A-okay. You are doing something. Something is better than nothing. All right, arm circles, other direction. I need to probably move that plant. What do you think? All right, breathe. Get into the shoulders because we're going to lift some weights in a little bit. All right, let's come on up. Extended mountain. Lengthen, breathe, put a smile on your face. Let your arms float down by your sides. Big coat swing, nice controlled twist here. Arms are down by your sides. Squeeze that ball, don't forget, and then twist. Gently from side to side. Look over your shoulder, one shoulder, then the other. Arms are heavy by your side. Shoulders are loose and away from your ears. Breathe. Maybe pick up the pace a little bit. Slap yourself on the bottom, on the hip. The arms are heavy. You got it. Twist, twist, twist. Breathe in through the nose. Sigh it out through your mouth. All right, let's finish. Come back to a standing position. Hands to opposite elbow creases, hinge forward, ragdoll. Your feet are hip width distance apart. The ball will ensure that. If you don't have a ball, wiggle your feet so they are hip width distance apart. That's about 2 fist widths. Hands to opposite elbow creases, little bend in your knees. Sway the elbows from one side to the other. Ragdoll. Your neck, loosen it, shake it. Look back towards your knees or up towards your belly button as the crown of your head comes toward the earth. All right, breathe. How are you doing? So far, so good, right? This little warm-up, awesome. Maybe when you're waiting for your coffee to brew in the morning, you run through this little warm-up. Your body will thank you for not only the coffee, but for the warm-up. All right, finish up here. Remove the ball if you've got it. Roll your spine up, one vertebra at a time. Come on up to standing. Take your extended mountain. Arms lift. Here's the difference that I was talking about in that forward fold. Cross your right leg over the left. Lengthen up and then fold forward. Oh my goodness, what a difference. Yikes, this is a lot harder. So not only are you challenging your balance, you've crossed the midline of your body. That's good for your brain. This is hard. Deep stretch. I've got my right leg crossed over my left. I'm really feeling it in the left glutes. Try to look down as best you can towards your knees. Maybe your fingers touch the earth. Maybe you try to keep your balance by not having the fingers touch the earth. Roll on up, one vertebra at a time. Come on up. It's a good little challenge for your head. Let it spark some creativity in you today, perhaps. Feet back to a natural position. Other side, left leg crosses over. Woo! All right, right there is hard enough. Hold on to a chair if you want. Fold forward. How far do you want to come in this? Look back to your knees. Maybe wiggle your arms, maybe let your fingers touch down. Ooh, if they touch down, you got some balance there. Or have them close to the ground, but not touching. All right, hold on here. Slowly roll on up, chin to your chest. You come on up. Bring your feet back to a natural position. I'm glad that's over, aren't you? One more time. Arms lift high, extended mountain. Come on up to the balls of your feet and to your heels. Just find your firm foundation. Hands to prayer center. Fold forward in your typical, normal, no surprises, forward fold. Fingers reach toward the earth. Even it out. Start to wiggle your knees. Straighten one, bend the other. Shake your neck. You've got mobility, you've got strength, you've got good balance, and it is getting better by the minute. All right, finish up. Let's come down to a child's pose. Come down to your mat. All right, once on your mat, send your knees wide or keep them together. It's your call. Ankles are together in either pose. Hips go back toward your heels. There you go. Raise your arms high to the top of the mat if your knees are spread, or bring them down by your side if your knees are together. Lots of ways to do this. Now close your eyes. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Big sighing breath out through your mouth. It is time to arrive at your practice. You're warmed up now. Now let the world go. Let everything go but this moment. What matters more than you right now and your breath. Push your hands, if you're in extended child's pose, into the mat. Send your hips more back towards your heels. If your arms are down by your sides in a classic child pose and your knees are together, let your fingertips reach toward the bottom of your mat. Breathe in. Breathe out. This is your practice. Have fun with it. Maybe you stay here in this child's pose even longer. Close your lips. Try to breathe in and out of your nose. Slow it on down. Let the thoughts go. We talked about that yesterday, letting the thoughts go and just being present. Help yourself with that by breathing deeply, by feeling the temperature of the room around you, by feeling the mat beneath your body. Take in the smells, the light, whatever in your room. Just be present. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Child's pose. Come back to it anytime you want. It's your practice. I'm going to come out of my child's pose right now, and I'm going to do a forearm stretch. Bring your knees underneath your hips. Bring your wrists underneath your shoulders. Now turn your arms so your fingertips are back towards your knees. All right, I feel it already. Big stretch in the front of the forearms. Feel it. All right, so no magic here. Well, there's lots of magic here. No trick to how you do this. Move your hips from side to side. Move your bottom towards your heels. Just feel a good stretch in your forearms. That's what you're going for here. Breathe in. Breathe out. Just stretch the forearms. Doesn't it feel terrific? All right, maybe you want to take it deeper. Maybe you send the weight back more towards your heels and you come up onto your fingertips. Ooh, that's intense. Do what you like. Maybe moving from side to side feels a little better. You're doing your yoga your way, no judgment. You're doing it at home. I'll just show you different options and different ways to do it to make you feel better. And who doesn't want to feel better? All right, forearms are nice and stretched out. Let's come back and have a seat on your heels if you like. Sit on down, bend the knees, and then wiggle your fingers like you're playing a piano. That sounds like more fun than typing on a computer, doesn't it? All right, so just wiggle your fingers, circle your ankles, get the little creepy crawly feelings out of your forearms. Let it go, breathe. Let's go into toes pose and ankle pose. All right, here's the deal. Maybe bring your blocks. Have your blocks by your side. You don't have to have blocks here. They're just a nice little prop. Buy them, they're not very expensive. Let's come into toes pose. So come on up, standing on your knees, tuck your toes towards your shins and have a seat back on your heels as best you can. Maybe you have a towel or something you want to put on your heels. Maybe that feels better. Or maybe you say, I'm going to have a seat on my block. All good. I'm going to have a seat on my heels. And I'm going to take this toes pose and flow it to an ankle pose. So it's going back and forth, getting the full range of motion in the ankles and the toes. So right now, it's really stretching out the feet. Feel the center of the foot. Oh my goodness, feel the strength in the toes. You're working on your foundation. If it hurts, come out of it a little bit. If it's uncomfortable, you've done more uncomfortable things in your life. You can do this. If it's uncomfortable, it means you're growing, right? Grow through what you go through. All right, take a deep breath in. And a shoulder softening breath out from your toes pose. Maybe you want to stay there. You got that block all nestled in behind your bottom and you want to stay in your toes pose. That's okay. But I'm going to take the full range of motion here. I'm going to take my blocks. I'm going to bring my feet onto the top of my mat and I'm going to walk the blocks back. Now I'm going to push into the blocks and send my knees up, but I'm going to keep my knees together and balance on the tops of my feet. Now you don't have to use the blocks. You can use your hands or nothing at all. You can keep your hands at prayer center. Hold on here in this ankle pose. Do what feels right for you. The big thing is you're not quitting. You're not giving up. You're not failing. You're making this work for you. Don't quit. The only time you fail is if you quit and you walk away from it. Stay with it. If you're still moving, you're still getting the benefits of the pose. And it's not about being perfect, right? It's about being fully present with yourself and just letting the progress happen. All right, I'm going to come back to a toes pose. You stay as long as you like. Just go back and forth a little bit. Maybe you stay a little bit longer in your toes pose and you really soften up here, sending your shoulders over your hips, really feeling that stretch. And then maybe when you go to your ankle pose, you just take it kind of gently. I don't know, maybe you take it gently or maybe you go further, further, further. Challenge your balance by not using the blocks and keeping your hands at prayer center and trying to pop your knees a little bit higher up as you balance on the tops of your feet. Lots of ways. Every way is right as long as it doesn't hurt. All right, how are you doing? Do you love this pose? All right, let's come on back to a neutral tabletop. Lift your feet up, squeeze and scrunch your toes, circle your ankles this way and that, and then tap your feet out on your mat. Time for cat-cow. In a neutral tabletop, knees under hips, shoulders over wrists, press into the earth. Press so hard into the tops of your feet and your hands, you almost feel like you're gonna levitate here in the tabletop. Back is nice and flat. Tuck your chin to your chest, tuck your tailbone under as you take your cat pose. The complementary pose of cat is, who knows? You guys know. It's cow. Bring your tailbone and the crown of your head up. Cat, cow. A couple of these to your breath. It's important to exhale into cat and think about it because your belly button's tucking to your spine. Inhale, cow. You're filling up your belly and letting it come down toward the earth. So try to do it the opposite way and you'll see it just doesn't feel right. So you know, your body knows how to move efficiently, and it knows how to move to its maximum benefit. Just give it the opportunity. Give it the opportunity to move. Cat, cow. All right, we got an opportunity coming up here to use that ball. If you don't have the ball, that's fine. In the past, we've used a resistance band as well. We'll reintroduce those in the weeks ahead, or maybe you're still using them. It's all good. All right, cat-cow, spine is nice and mobile. Think for a moment, your tailbone, think of how you're moving your low back, tucking the tailbone, lifting the tailbone. Even your neck is getting some nice movement here. You're tucking your chin to your chest on cat, sending the chin forward on cow. All right, let's finish up. Just wiggle your hips and just be at peace, my friends. All right, we're gonna take the ball. No ball, totally fine. I'm going to bring the ball behind my right knee. You could use a weight also or nothing at all. We're going to start with fire hydrant pose. Squeeze the ball good and tight. Draw the right toes toward your shin. From your neutral tabletop, start to lift the ball, the leg, to the side of the room. Think of a dog on a fire hydrant. All right, not a real pleasant image, but it's the best way to describe it. Lift, lift, lift. Oh my goodness, what good this does for the outsides of your legs, for strengthening, for stability. You got it. Lift, lower. And remember, you can be a big dog, you can be a little dog. It's all good. Stick with it. Just don't quit. Winners never quit and quitters never win. Remember that saying? All right. I'm going to lift the leg up good and high, and I'm going to pulse it up to the sky. I'm going to bring my ankle higher than my knee and keep pulsing, pulsing, pulsing. Pulsing in poses, that's the signature of a bar practice. Ooh, we do a lot of pulsing, pulsing, pulsing. How do you like it? You may not like it, but you know it's effective. All right, let's finish. Hover the right knee next to the left. Go into our donkey kick. Lift your right knee up so it's about hip height. You'll keep that toes flexed toward your shin. And now let's kick the ball in. Little teeny kicks the ball, makes it kind of fun. Kind of, you know, bounces back and forth. If you don't have the ball, you can still do this. Not as much fun though, and I'm all about the fun, right? Fun Fridays. You gotta have fun or you won't come back. And I want you to come back, and I want you to tell your friends to come too. All right, squeeze that ball good and tight toward your bottom. Heel toward your bottom. Now pulse the foot up, up, up to the sky. You got it. Little teeny pulses, the foot's moving a couple inches up and down. Boy, the dogs have it made, don't they? They eat, they sleep, they run, they stretch. All right, keep going, keep going. You got it. You're strong. Don't quit. Don't give up. Strong bottom. So your glutes are some of your biggest muscles in your body. Your legs, your bottom, big muscles. They help with your stability. And you are working that right now. All right, let's finish. Hover the right knee next to the left. Plant the right knee next to the left really quick. Child's pose. Knees go wide. Ball. Place it under your fingers. Stretch it out. Send your hips back toward your heels. Breathe. All right, we got another side to do. Oh, doesn't it feel good to do that child's pose and stretch out after doing that? Take the ball, or no ball at all, behind your other knee, the left knee. Time for fire hydrant. Draw the toes toward the shin. Lift to the side of your room. So you're looking between your thumbs, letting all the movement come from the hip and the leg. Little dog, big dog, it's up to you. Just lift and lower. Breathe. Such an effective pose. All right, let's lift it up good and high and pulse it up. Little teeny pulses in the leg. Up, up, up. Breathe. Push into the earth. You're gazing down between your thumbs. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Now it is time to hover the left knee next to the right. Bring the left knee up to about hip height. Kick yourself in the bottom. Now your hips. Adjust your hips, ensuring that both hips are equidistant to your mat. Breathe. So, what else you feeling here? Feel the strengthening of the low back. Nice. Push the earth away. You're strong. Keep pulsing it in, in, in. We sometimes do this in a standing position, like if you're at a bar and you're holding onto the bar with your forearms maybe resting on the bar ledge and kicking up, up, up. All right, let's squeeze that ball good and tight. Heel really towards your bottom. Pulse the foot up to the sky. Strengthening all that you got. That's so important. Remember, 3 things. Show up, number 1. Rock solid foundation, that's what you're getting. And you know what? We're going to do some power and some planks. I don't know if I mentioned that too. You got to find strength in those planks. Strengthen those planks. Planks give you power. You got it. So does this pose. It gives you power. Breathe, breathe. Time to finish. Hover the left knee next to the right for just a second. Ooh, feel the goodness there. Remove the ball underneath your hands. Arms reach long, knees spread wide, hips back to your heels. Stretch it out. Breathe. All right, let's go into bird dog. Okay, for bird dog, take your ball. Place it underneath your right knee. It's okay if you don't have the ball. You can just balance your right knee on the ground. The ball creates an unstable surface. Like I said, that's why we keep it good and squishy. Place the knee on it. Tuck the right toes toward the shin. You're in that neutral tabletop still. Lift your left leg up and extend the left leg long. Draw your toes towards your shins. Hold on here. Ooh, unstable surface. We got it going on. Left leg is extended. Extend your right arm. Reach. stretch. Push the earth away. It'll help you keep your balance. Tuck your knee to your elbow. Stretch it out. Left knee bends, right elbow bends. They touch underneath your belly button. Stretch and tuck, stretch and tuck. One more time, stretch and tuck. Hand comes down, knee comes down. We have another side to do. All right, place the ball underneath your opposite knee. Hands on your mat, toes towards your shins. Lift the right leg up. Find your balance. Breathe. Toes drawn towards your shin. You got it. Push the earth away. It matters. It helps. Left arm reaches long. Hold it here. Breathe. Stretch if you like. Elbow to knee. Once, twice, 3 times, 5 times. What works for you today? And then finish. Hand down, knee down. Oh my goodness. What do you think of that? Good balancing pose, isn't it? All right, let's take that wide-legged child's pose again before we do our plank. All right, knees wide, hips back to your heels. Arms reach long to the top of your room, or they're maybe on your ball. Breathe. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let it go. All right, planks. Strength. You want strength. A plank tightens you up, engages everything you got, and it's really good. Now, regardless of your age, you can do it because there's lots of ways to do it. You could lie on your back. Remember we talked about that. Send your arms high to the sky and just think yourself through your plank. You could have your knees spread wide like we are now. Hinge forward. You can be on your forearms, elbows under shoulders, hands pressed into your mat. Adjust your legs so that you feel more weight shift in the upper body into the arms, and you can hold on here. You could bring the knees together, tuck the toes toward the shins. Knees are a little together, not touching each other. And then send your legs long and come on up to a dolphin plank. Totally fine. You could also take a high plank, and that's what I'm gonna do today. I'm gonna do a high plank with opposite shoulder taps. We're going to set a timer for 1 minute. We are going to take the ball, if you got it. I'm gonna place it between my thighs. I'm gonna squeeze it like I did in those standing poses, and it just helps keep me more stable. Let's get into the variation of plank that you want to take. Little timer's going to be on the screen. You can pay attention to it or not. All right, let's go. Get into your plank. Timer starts now. All right, here we go. All right, I'm squeezing the ball good and tight. My shoulders are over my wrists. My feet are hip-width distance apart, and I'm being honest about that thanks to this ball. Push into the earth and hold. You've already done almost 15 seconds. Touch opposite shoulder with opposite hand. Breathe. Little shoulder touches. Come on, you can do it. 1 minute, or maybe you're doing it for 5 seconds. It's all good. Just try. We are more than halfway done, y'all. We got about 20 seconds to go. Take breaks when you need them. Drop down to your knees. Take a downward facing dog if you like. We got 15 seconds. You can do it. Push the earth away. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. Come back down to your knees. Remove the ball. 1 minute. You can do anything. Let's take this ball. I'm going to grab a drink of water. We had a water softener installed yesterday, and apparently the water's very hard here in Florida, and the water tastes really different. All right, it's good. It's a good different. All right, so take the ball. Let's place the ball. Let's do some core stuff. I'm going to place the ball at my low back, and I'm going to lean on back. Do you feel it in your core? That's the intention. Think bar. Think of those little pulses. Little bend in your knees, soles of your feet on your mat. Lean on back onto that ball. Breathe. Arms parallel to each other. Little teeny lifts. Little teeny lifts. Not big, just little pulses. And don't let momentum get you going. Think of your strong core. It's working. Make it work. Little lifts, little lowers. You don't have to go far. Breathe. Make your core work. You don't have to go high and then low. Sometimes we do that. Sometimes we come all the way back on the mat, on the ball, at our low back. Maybe that feels good for you today. Breathe. Little pulses. Now let's get those pulses smaller by lifting our legs. All right, lift your legs a little bit off of your mat. Little lifts through the arms, fingertips moving, just a couple of inches forward and then back. Little pulses. Bring your feet down anytime you want. Maybe you're on your toes. Lift, breathe. Oh, it's not easy, is it? You got it. You got it. Keep your head, your shoulders in line. Lift, breathe. Let's bring the feet on down. How are you doing? Come on up to seated. Lift your arms high up to the sky like extended mountain, and then take a forward fold. Reach your hands towards your ankles, your calves, whatever. Hug your elbows in. Fold forward. Breathe in. Hollow out the belly, fold forward. Come on up to a seated position. The ball, if it didn't roll away from you, take it. Place it between your ankles or underneath your feet, or no ball at all, totally fine. We're gonna do Pilates 100s. Hands to prayer center. Even this is a great pose. Your core is strong, still about to get stronger still. Hands to prayer center, roll on back. All the way back, all the way down. Arms down by your sides, palms face down. All right, Pilates 100s. Thank you, Joseph Pilates, for this great core pose. Here's how you can do it. Take it in layers. Maybe you lift your arms, and you just pat your arms. The idea is we do it 100 times. We do it as much as you want. Shoulders away from the ears and just pat. Maybe you lift your shoulders up. Maybe you lift your feet up. I've got the ball. I'm going to squeeze the ball good and tight. The idea here is you pat the ground however many times works for you. Breathe. I don't know if you want to count. Maybe you keep count, and maybe you say each Friday I'm going to do 2 or 3 more. You decide what works. I just do it to what feels right for me. You should do the same. Do what feels right for you. If it hurts, back out. Don't do it. You don't ever want to hurt. Breathe. Challenge yourself. How are you doing? Maybe just a couple more. You can do it. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You showed up. You can do it. Maybe you decide to put your shoulders down. That's fine. Breathe. Breathe. Squeeze the ball if you got it. You got it. Let's come down. Stretch it out. Stick pose. Palms touch. Fingers reach. Biceps near your ears. Toes point. Breathe in. Breathe out. How was that? Let's press on up. Maybe use your hands, or don't use your hands. Come on up to seated. It's all about trying something different. Something as simple as when you're in a chair and you get up, don't put your hands on the arms of the chair. Don't put your hands down and lift yourself. See if you can do it. You're strong. Your core is strong from the waist down. We've been working it. See if you can get up just with the power of your legs. Let's go into a lunge now. Find your 2 blocks. And let's do a lunge. All right, so I just did what I said I wouldn't do. All right, so come on to your blocks here. Bring your right leg forward, knee over ankle. You got the blocks by your sides. Tuck your left toes under. Lift on up just so your knee is a little bit above the ground. You don't have to do that. Maybe you want to stay down on the ground. Totally fine. Shoulders over your hips. Maybe you keep these blocks here for balance. No problems. I'm going to lift in the back knee. Really helps to root into your feet. That right foot, good and solid, think of scooting it forward. You're on the ball of the back left foot. Arms lift, little teeny pulses, down, up and down. Breathe, breathe, breathe. You got it. Don't sweat it. You're strong in the feet. Gaze forward, arms stay lifted, little pulses here. Breathe. Let's finish on this leg. Come on down. Bring your right knee to meet your left. Send your left leg forward. Left knee over ankle. Hold on to those blocks. Tuck your back. Right toes so you can stand up here. Little lift in the back knee. Maybe arms lift. Little teeny pulses. Press into your feet. Breathe. Breathe. Maybe you like your hands on your waist. That's good too. Maybe you're down on your back knee and you got your arms lifted. Breathe, stay strong. You got it. Let's bring the knee down. Let's bring the left knee to meet the right on your mat. Take your wide-legged child's pose. Knees spread wide. Toes touch, arms reach. Stretch it out. Breathe in, breathe out. Your hips will thank you. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Bring your knees in line underneath your hips. Tuck your toes under. Downward facing dog. Hips go high. Hips go high. Heels slightly elevated. Adjust your stance. Pedal your heels. One closer to the earth, then the other. Bend the other leg. Come up onto the ball of the foot and alternate. Work it out. Feels really nice after those donkey kicks. And fire hydrant pose and that lunge. Breathe. Press into your hands. Let your head hang heavy. Finish up, still your feet. Send your hips high, send your tailbone high. Breathe in your inverted V pose. Walk your feet to meet your hands, or your hands back to meet your feet. Find your hand weights. Roll your spine up, one vertebra at a time. Whew. Come on up to a standing pose. All right, here we are. Take your weights. Lift them to your shoulders. Lift them to the sky. Lift and lower the weights. All right, challenge yourself a little bit. Maybe come on up. Step back here. Lift the weights. Maybe come on up to the balls of your feet when the weights go up. Come on down, weights go to your shoulders. Come into that chair pose, it'll squat down. Lift and come out of the feet. Lower, get into the feet. Weights go up, heels come up. Weights to your shoulders. Put a bend in your knees because you can and you should. The more you do, the more you can. Don't quit. Don't give up. You know what? I'm going to widen my stance a little bit. Up and sit. Up and sit. Lift and lower. You got it. All right. Let's come back to a standing position. Bring your arms down by your sides. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. With or without the weights, tee out your arms. Bring your palms face up. Bend at the elbows and work the weights towards your shoulders. You can do one arm at a time. Look to the extended arm side. If you're working both of them, look to one side, look to the other. Arms are strong. Shoulders are strong. Don't give up. That's the ticket. Breathe. All right, maybe you've got no weights. It's all right. You could do 2 cans, 2 water bottles, or nothing at all. Keep your arms teed out. Think of squeezing the upper shoulders together. You got it. Let's lift the arms up to the sky. Bring the weights together, or maybe put one down, and then let's work the triceps. So bend your arms. Work the weights to the back of your neck and lift and lower. Ooh, you really feel it stretching in those triceps, and that's a good thing. Breathe. How are you doing? Like I said, maybe you've ditched a weight and you've got just one. Totally fine. Strong. Yes, you are. Shoulder mobility is so important. Don't give up. Don't quit. All right. Let's move on to the next pose. All right, let the arms float down by your sides. Think of your shoulders relaxing away from the ears. Let that feel nice. Let's do a little bit of kickbacks. All right, remember that chair pose we took where you sit your bottom back down? The weights are in, palms towards your thighs. Lift the weights up with your elbows nice and strong. Maybe pop on up to the balls of your feet and then send the weights on back. Weights towards your armpit. Straighten the arms, send them on back. You can be up on the balls of your feet. Takes some concentration, doesn't it? Or be down on your feet, totally fine. I'm gonna sink a little bit lower, a couple pulses here. I'm gonna settle in, send the weights back. And armpit, back, and armpit. Woo, woo, woo. All right, I'm gonna turn this way. How's that, cameraman? All right, breathe, breathe. Ooh, I'm gonna sink lower. All right, we're figuring it out. We'll get there. All right, I'm gonna sink lower. Now the weights, I'm gonna take them to the back wall, and I'm gonna pulse them back. Pulse, pulse, pulse. You can be down on your all 4 feet. You can be down on all 4 corners of your feet. Pulse the weights in now, hit your low back, and then come on up to standing. Were your thighs on fire? Mine were. All right, let's cactus out the weights in our arms. Cactus them out, bringing your elbows to about shoulder height, and little teeny pulses up here. Chest is good and lifted. Feels kind of natural to lift your chest here, doesn't it? Little teeny pulses up, 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 breathe. All right, let's lift them even higher and pulse here. Breathe. You got it. Lift them up good and high, palms forward, and then bring them back to that starting position of elbows at shoulder height, and then pulse. A little higher, and pulse. Higher still, stretch, bring them back, elbows at shoulder height. Squeeze the elbows more to the back of the room so your chest lifts, and then pulse, pulse, pulse. A little higher, pulse, pulse, pulse. Higher still, hold them up, and then let your arms float down by your sides. Let your shoulders soften, fold forward here, and place your weights down. Let's do tree pose. Hands to purse center as your shoulders come over your hips. Bend in the left knee, open up the left knee to the side of the room. Place the sole of the left foot inside the right foundational leg. You know how you can place it. Barbie doll foot, a little higher, higher still, just skip over the knee. Maybe your hands can be on your hips or on a chair. Push the foot into the leg, leg into the foot. Look to where your ceiling and wall meet. Hands at prayer center. Grow your branches if you like. Sway them, maybe. Challenge yourself. It's all about challenges, right? That's life. You find pleasure in succeeding in those challenges. Close your eyes a little bit or a lot. Maybe your challenge today was just showing up on your mat and staying in child's pose. That's fine too. Hands to prayer center. Guide the knee to the front of the room. Plant the left foot next to the right. Other side. Right foot bends. Send the knee to the back of the room. Right foot comes to the inside of the left leg. Push into the leg, leg into the foot. Lift on higher if you want. Your call. Breathe. Branches can grow. Gaze goes up. Brush your teeth this way. I say that a lot. Brush your teeth, standing on one leg. Find those little opportunities throughout the day to work in your yoga. Live your yoga off of your mat. Find your balance. Maybe close the eyes for a second or two. Hands back to prayer center. Guide the knee to the front of the room. Plant the foot next to the other foot. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Find your ball. Bring the ball up between your thighs. Give it a squeeze, tight squeeze. Chair pose, remember that one? Start with your hands on your hips maybe. Come onto the balls of your feet and sit on down. Sit on down, maybe hold on to a chair. Take it low, hold it here. Now pulse. Hands can be on your hips. You can take like a classic chair pose with the arms extended. Maybe you put your hands on a chair in front of you. But little teeny pulses up and down, down and up. Breathe, breathe. Oh, take it lower. Oh, come up higher onto your balls of your feet. Maybe shoulders back a little bit more and pulse, and pulse, and pulse. Pulse up, pulse down, sink down nice and low. Pulse the ball in and out, in. You got it. Strong legs, strong body. Breathe, and let's finish. Plant your feet. Oh, take that forward fold. Remove the ball. Forward fold. You know this one. We do this often. Let it go. All right, you're down here. Let's eliminate the standing up. Take your right foot. Cross it over the left. Whoo. Stretch it out here. Look back to your knee as best you can. Perhaps a little bend in your knees helps with stability. Maybe the hands help with stability. See what you got going on here. Bring the right foot back to meet the left in a natural position. Left foot crosses over so your pinky toes meet and fold forward. Soften up, shake it out, touch the ground if you want. Finish up. Feet come back to a natural position. Bend your knees and come on down to your mat. All right, how was that? Maybe a little better, right? Let's try it again. Come on down to your mat, grab a seat. Grab a seat, send your legs long. Legs are long on your mat. Lengthen up through your arms, seated forward fold. We do this a lot. Lengthen up and then reach forward. Reach forward. Arms are parallel to each other, reaching forward. Reach, reach. Toes drawn towards your shins. Keep reaching. Keep reaching. Maybe you're a long way from your toes. That's fine. Grab your calves. Maybe you can touch your toes. Maybe you can drape your wrists over your toes. Hey, think toes pose again. Bring the soles of your feet and the palms of your hands together. Draw your toes toward your shins. Give it a tug. Maybe look down to your knees. All right, come on up. Shoulders over your hips. Crisscross right ankle over left. Lift your arms up. Parallel arms again. Reach, stretch. You got it. Reach for your ankles. Reach for your feet. Hug the elbows in. Fold forward. Maybe your nose touches your knee. Or maybe not. It's okay. Come on up. Shoulders over your hips. Crisscross the ankle over the other ankle. Arms lift. Arms reach forward. Breathe. Maybe capture your feet. Elbows hugged in. Look down to your knee. Maybe close your eyes and imagine your forehead coming to your knee as you hollow out your belly. Come on up. Shoulders over your hips. How are you doing? Let's do clamshells. Come on down to your right side. Knees are bent. Knees are together. You're on your right forearm. Knee. Not your knee, this is your elbow. Elbow over your shoulder, maybe hand to your hip. Lift a little bit out of the chest. You can put your ball under your waist if you like, and then start to lift your top knee to the sky. Open and close like a clamshell. Breathe. Seashells. Oh my gosh. We went to a beach on Marco Island and found the most beautiful seashells. I got to do something crafty with them. I don't know what. Something. All right, later, way later. All right, I gotta find my yoga blanket first. I missed that yesterday. All right, let's lift your ankles up and continue to open and close your thighs. Breathe. Clamshell pose. You got it. All right, let's take it to the other side. Bring your knees on down, switch to the other hip. Forearm parallel. Top of the mat. Elbow is nice and in alignment with the shoulder. Alignment's important. It keeps you strong, keeps everything healthy. Knees are bent, ankles glued together. Open and close the hip, keeping the chest lifted. Maybe your hands on your hip, or maybe you like to kickstand it. It's all good. Or maybe you put a flourish in and lift your arm up. It's all good. I'm going to now lift my ankles and open and close here. Here. You got it. Time flies when you're having fun, doesn't it? And you know, you gotta think. Don't think I have to do my yoga. Think I get to do my yoga because you feel so much better afterwards. Enjoy it. Enjoy what you do. Be in the moment. Don't think about the future. Don't worry about the past. You know, enjoy the moment. Let's finish up here in your variation of clamshells. Come on down. Grab your eye shade, your towel. Bring it to the top of your mat. I guess this will be the top of my mat. And bring your strap. All right, you're in a seated position. Let's bend your knees. Soles of your feet are on your mat. Think of that strong core again. Hands to prayer center, always a good place to be. And come on back to fully recline. Take it slowly because you can. Your core is strong and come all the way down. Once you're all the way down, let's do bridge pose. Bend your knees, press the weight into your feet, lift your hips up, wiggle your shoulders closer to your spine, lift your hips even higher, push into your feet. Arms can be down by your sides or interlace your fingers and press your pinkies into the mat. Lift high here. Oh, shoulders are feeling it, hips are feeling it, everything's strong. Hip flexors are getting a nice stretch. You got it. Release your hands if you interlaced them. Send your spine down one vertebra at a time. Practice that. Take it slowly. We practiced that yesterday. Continue to bring your spine down one vertebra at a time. Think of keeping your tail lifted. Best way to do that is to keep your belly button tucked towards your spine as long as you can. Once you come all the way down in the spine, release your tailbone. Just such a good sensation, and it's just awareness of the articulation of your spine. All right, grab your strap. Let's take the strap, Place it underneath the centers of your feet and send your feet high to the sky. Hip mobility. Elbows in, legs high to the sky, just pull on it. Maybe this feels great. If you don't have a strap today, add it to your list to go out and buy for the weekend. All right, if you don't have a strap, use a belt or a jump rope. All right, hug it in here. I'm gonna release my right leg down to the mat. I'm gonna open up my left leg to the front of the room. Pinky toe might touch down, might not, just open up. Send the leg high to the sky using the strap. Bring it on down to the other side. I've got to move that. All right, so you're creating a half circle or something like that over your body here. Think of it as a little rainbow of happiness. All right, so you're opening up in that leg. When you bring the extended legs, big toe toward the ground, you're rolling on to the opposite hip. When you're opening up the leg, try to keep both hips down. All right, leg up, both legs up. Give them a tug, give them a wiggle, kind of realign. Then bring the other leg down. Left leg down, right leg pull it up. Left calf is plugged into the mat. Draw your left toes towards your shin to make that happen. Open up the leg to the right, to the left. Now you don't have to use a strap for this. Strap makes it, I think, more pleasurable and you just feel in control here. But your core is working. You're really strong. You're getting your hip mobility going. Don't give up, don't quit. You know, maybe today you're just holding onto that foot and just kind of like you're washing the ceiling a little bit with it. Whatever you're doing, it's good. I'm proud of you for being here. All right, let's finish up. Bring both feet back into your strap. Give them a nice little tug. Hug the elbows in. And when you're ready, think of your heels as weighted. Think of the heels as weighted and work those long legs back down to the ground. Take it slowly. Hold on to the strap. Peel your shoulders up. With control, bring yourself up. You get a lot of tension on that strap. Totally good. Lift in the chest, back is flat. Let the heels hover just a little bit. And then place the heels down. Take a fun little forward fold this time with the strap. Walk your hands down it. Fold your forehead towards your knees. And then remove your strap. Come back to fully recline. You got this. And take a brief final Shavasana pose. Cover your eyes with your eye shade or your towel. Arms down by your sides. Breathe here. Take as much time as you need here. Pinky toes toward the earth. Hips are nice and open. This is your time to relax, refresh, and restore. And we often say, you know, if you're got your remote nearby, just click the pause and you stay in this pose as long as you like, as long as you need to, and really as long as you want to, because it's your yoga. You do it your way. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Soften everything you've got. And then when it's time for you to finish, after you unpause your video, you can start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Ankles and wrists, oh, they've got mobility there. We did that forearm stretch. We did toes pose and ankle pose. You've got mobility there now. Inhale, reach high, stretch it out like it's your good morning stretch before you get out of bed in the morning. But don't end there. Stretch it out every day. Bend your knees and roll into a fetal position onto one side or the other. Use your low arms bicep as a pillow for your head, eyes closed. Deep breath in and deep breath out. Stay here longer if you want to also. Savor this moment. Be proud of yourself for what you did. You accomplished a lot. Most people don't take the time for themselves, and they pay a price for it. Take a deep breath in, deep breath out. Gently press on up or float on up, whatever you want, and crisscross your legs. Hands to prayer center for a moment of gratitude. Just be thankful you did it. Take a deep breath in and a deep sighing breath out. Blink your eyes open. You did it. You did a Yoga Plus practice. You did barre, you did Pilates, you did weights, you did yoga. You're awesome. That spark that brought you here, keep that spark going all day long so you can stay fired up. It's a good thing. It's a good way to start your weekend, good way to start your day, good way to live. Stress number, what was it? What is it? It's a lot better, right? Keep at it. Love you guys. Have a great weekend. See you on your mats tomorrow and the next day and the next day. Love you guys. Bye-bye. Hey, you just know, don't you? What is the word that gets you up here, huh? Bye, everybody. You're still here, and I'm really glad for that. Keep this in mind. The path is made through repetition. Keep showing up, and good things will happen. You know that. I'm glad that you're still sticking around. Tell your friends what the yoga's doing for you. Our yoga is free for anybody and everybody on Facebook and YouTube, and they can join in anytime from the privacy of their own home. Tell them about our practice, please. If you'd like to support our broadcast, you can visit our website. It's www.316yoga.com. Stay on your path, enjoy your yoga, and have a great rest of your day. See you on your mats tomorrow.